starting again with a heroic antic. The story moves ahead from Dabangg 2 with the corrupt yet much-loved cop Asp Chulbul Pandey, preventing a robbery at a wedding, and beating the goons and their leader, Gullu. Black and Blue. Gullu then agrees to return to his former part-time job as a wedding band trumpeter. And Chulbul Pandey is seen dealing with the everyday lives of his wife Rajjo, brother Makanchand, Makki, Pandey, also a police officer, and his son, while his father Prajapati Pandey stays at home with Rajjo. Makki appears to be enjoying a lavish lifestyle most of the time. One fateful day, a despaired girl, probably injured, arrives in a hurry at Makki's station after escaping from somewhere and seeks help. Makki, expecting to punish her captors, who tried to sell her and other girls off, is joined by Chulbul, and after a scuffle, the brothers arrest Chinti Walia, who runs a prostitution racket, Uddharan, while trying to force a confession out of Chinti at the police station. Chulbul intercepts a lawyer and some goons who have come over to release Chinti. Still, he tears off the court order. And in desperation, the leader of the goons keeps his video call going on even as Chulbul smiles into the screen. Minutes later, the leader shows the video call to Balli Singh, who sees Chulbul, who looks back into the phone camera to visit Balli. Shocked beyond words, he reminisces his younger days, recalling his fate with Balli, Uddharan, years ago, when he was still young. Chulbul, whose real name turns out to be Dhakar Chand Pandey, fell in love with a girl, Khushi, who was initially being considered as a potential bride for Makki, after he noticed a photo of her in Makki's hand, and told his mother, Naini Devi, that he would be a good fit instead of Makki. A few days later, Khushi's maternal uncle Prabhat and maternal aunt Janki agreed to the match between Dhakar and Khushi, and the two began courting each other. At the same time, Balli, a ruthless and violent goon, set his eyes on Khushi and started making arrangements for his marriage with her. However, when he saw Dhakar with Khushi, he decided to kill Khushi and her family right in front of Dhakar's eyes after luring him to the spot. Prabhat and Janki were both killed, and Khushi was thrown off a cliff to die. Consequently, Hariya and his daughter Rajjo, revealed to be Khushi's friend, were deeply affected. Hariya took to alcoholism, while Dhakar, who was framed by Balli and spent much time in prison for the death, was taken in by Commissioner Satinder Singh after saving him from attackers, and transformed into an uptight cop, naming himself Chulbul, in Khushi's memory, forming the events of Dabangg. At present, Chulbul, having relayed this entire episode to Prajapati and Rajjo, decides that he has had enough, and he needs to close the chapter once and for good. Meanwhile, an ill-attracted Makki is misled by Balli into turning against Chulbul, nearly slapping him after he too is promoted to the rank of Asp. The action causes him to be banished from home by Prajapati, and he joins hands with Balli actively. Balli, who is set to become a politician and a minister in the upcoming elections, plans to bring in a truck filled with money. Thus, he gets Makki and many other police officers in his circle transferred to one common location to facilitate transportation. Chulbul intercepts the truck and turns Balli's moles in the police force against Balli himself. As revenge, Balli gets several of Chulbul's associates kidnapped and brutally beaten to near death until Chulbul breaks in again and frees them all, even when Balli has run away with Makki and some reliable accomplices. Seeking to lure Balli into counterproductive action, Chulbul kidnaps Minister S. Sharma and his brother-in-law by staging a ploy with Gullu's help and forcing a confession of them, which is made viral. Balli notices the same, and Makki helps him track them down since he recognizes the hideout. Upon arriving there, Balli kills Sharma and injures his brother-in-law. In retaliation, he sends wrestlers to attack Rajjo and her son. But Chulbul arrives in time to save the two. Sometime later, Chulbul receives a call from Prajapati, who tells him that Rajjo hasn't arrived home. Sensing Balli's hand in the matter, he invades a quarry where Balli has held Rajjo. And surprisingly, Makki himself. As hostages, Makki was always on Chulbul's side. And it was a game by the brothers to incense Balli. After an intense fight, Chulbul kills Balli by impaling him on a metal spike. He then buries Balli in the rubble.